we need to talk about Pirate101 badges. Now, if you're watching this video, I assume you already know what these are, but if not, these badges are collectible titles that represent achievements or milestones that you can collect as you go through Pirate101, such as defeating a certain number of enemies or a boss, or exploring new areas. There are all kinds of badges that you can collect. Now, I am somewhat of a completionist myself. I enjoy doing difficult things in the game that sometimes require a lot of farming or grinding. An example of that, I farmed and grinded a long time to get a very specific set of gear for a really cool build I did. I also made a YouTube video on that if you want to check it out. I took the time to grind for this double tide pet. That's very good. And not everybody is a completionist. Not everybody likes to spend a long time grinding for things in game, but I do. And even as a self-proclaimed completionist, I have to admit that the badges in Pirate101 have problems. They have a lot of problems. First of all, a lot of badges in Pirate101 are just absurdly difficult to collect. You have some easier ones, some badges that you get naturally from questing through the game, such as Skull Mountain Scoundrel. You're naturally going to do this in the first little quest line of the game, so you'll collect some naturally, but there are also some incredibly difficult badges that you will spend, if you're trying to complete them, you'll spend a ton of time getting. I have not even defeated Mu Manchu 25 times, let alone his insanely high 100 times, because I don't have 5 hours at a time to grind on his tower. Some of these, like the Bane of Cain, defeating Cain 100 times, take an incredibly long time, and there are even badges here that take more than a year to complete, and these quests just take an insane amount of time. They require an insane amount of effort, and what do you get from these badges? Nothing. The problem boils down to this: the juice is not worth the squeeze. For these difficult badges, take these daily quests on the party barge. You have to do these, you can only do these once every single day, and you have to do 500 of them for the ultimate badge. Here's a Friend of Valencia quest. So you have to do this if you did this every single day, you would be working on this badge for about a year and a half. And all you'd have at the end to show for it was this tag, Friend of Valencia, that would show up underneath your name. You see, I have the Master and Commander title here. It's just not worth it. In my opinion, and in many people's opinion, it is not worth grinding this long simply to have a specific title underneath your name. And to be honest, for most people, I would say the casual players cannot even tell the difference between some of these badges. For example, let me find one here. Let's talk about the Cain badges again, because I'm about to complete that one. I don't think many casual players would really notice the difference between the Bane of Cain and Cain's Conqueror. But in reality, the difference is 99 Cain battles, because you only need 1 for Cain's Conqueror, and you need 100 for the Bane of Cain. But most people aren't going to notice that. It's only going to be your die-hard players, the ones that are really paying attention, the ones that actually have name tags on in the options, that are going to notice those things. It's really not worth it. Other than the text underneath the badge, there are a few badges that grant rewards. A couple of them, a couple of the exploration badges grant pets. That's not the exploration badges. Let me see if I can find one here. I believe the one for Mushu. Here we go, Frontier Drifter. This grants you a white-tailed jackalope, but this is not a unique pet. This is a pet that you can get through companion tasks. There are 2 other pets you can get, but those are nothing special. For one quest, you get a housing item, the Captain Gun's Gold, but that's you get that naturally. You don't have to do anything special for that badge. One badge gives you 10 companion training points. That's not that great. You can buy those for gold. You can get the Doom Laurel, to promote Hercules. That's an extremely controversial badge. I can pull that one up here. Don't even get me started about this. Let me see where it is here. Here it is. You have to defeat I don't even know how to pronounce this 100 times. This is a terrible badge. I think the main reason they have this is so people could get to do more and stop complaining about it. And let's see, there are a couple of badges that give aesthetics for your pirate, which are really cool. A lot of people like those. Those are cool. Those are some of the good badge rewards. But other than that, the only thing you get from badges is unlocking companions and weapons in the crown shop, which you have to pay crowns for anyway, which is ridiculous. So, just what I was saying, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Many badges are just not worth farming. Honestly, it's not enough to make people interested in farming for badges. It's not enough to make people interested in getting unique badges. There is no incentive to really pay attention to these badges at all. And I think that's really sad because there's so much potential, so much great potential for badges. If we were to compare to Wizard 101, Wizard 101 has some awesome rewards for badges, and I know comparing Wizard 101 to Pirate 101 is like comparing the favorite child to a stray dog who you found outside your door, but I'm going to do it anyway. So for Wizard 101, some of the badge rewards are spellments, reagents, skeleton keys, raid keys for special raids, fight rematches, specific housing items. There are even some badges that unlock permanent mounts that you can buy for gold. And honestly, all of those are really cool ideas, things that I think Pirate 101 players would really enjoy. And it's a shame that the badges in Pirate 101 are kind of wasted. So I wanted to go over, that's the problem I see with badges. They're not worth it. I don't think people are really interested in badges, and there's a lot of wasted potential. And I wanted to talk about a couple ways that I think King's Isle could make badges more exciting. My first idea is to make badges have fun requirements. If you look through the badges tab here, a vast majority of the badges you either get automatically or you have to defeat an insane number of enemies. Who's going to defeat 250 water moles to have this big kahuna badge? Not very many people. There are a couple badges that are more unique, but for the vast majority of them, they're not fun to acquire. So I think they could make badges that have very fun requirements. You could have badges that have more of a puzzle attached to them, or some type of treasure hunt. You see this with, there is a tiny bit of a treasure hunt aspect. Let me see if I can find it. There are a couple snowmen that come out during the holidays that you have to go around and find. I've only gotten this one, there's a couple others, but you find the Skull Island Skyway snowman, Stay Frosty. I think using puzzles and treasure hunts, you could create a section of badges that would appeal to players who really like puzzles, or who like thinking really hard, exploring, and finding different areas. I think that would draw more people to badges. I also think you could make collaborative badges, where maybe you would have to team up with a friend and you would each have specific requirements to do within a certain amount of time. You would do different things and you would get some type of joint badge that would really encourage players to work with each other. And these are all things that require more than just grinding. 100 cane fights, 100 Moo Manchu towers, 250 water moles. Another idea is to create more badge rewards. We saw that with Wizard 101. And honestly, I think a lot of Pirate 101 players would enjoy more quest rewards than just a random pet. I think of the Wizard 101 badge reward where you can buy a permanent mount for gold. I have a brother who's doing a free-to-play playthrough of Pirate 101, and he doesn't have very many options for permanent mounts. He could farm Reginald's bosses over here to get the Crow's Wings mount, or he could buy very fast mounts for gold. And I know there are a couple mounts that you can farm later on in the game, like this mount you can farm from Kane, but where he's at in the story right now, he's free to play, so he does not want to use crowns on a mount from the crown shop, so he's very limited. So badges like the one in Wizard 101 that allows you to buy very fast mounts for gold would appeal to players like him. Other potential badge rewards, you could have unique pets, unique pet bodies, cool effects for weapons. So you could have a glowing weapon without having to buy one from the crown shop or a pack or farm for the haywire weapons or something like that. You could have alternative companion clothing, alternative looks for companions as a badge reward. There's so many cool ideas. I could go on, but having some other reward for badges in addition to just having text below your name could really incentivize people to farm for these badges. And third thing that could make badges exciting is having badges lead to other aspects of the game. Now, this would be very beneficial for King's Isle to have badges that encourage players to try new things after they complete the badge. For example, you could have a badge that grants you a unique housing item, or a badge that grants you a upgraded dorm room here in your dorm, and that could lead people to, it would encourage players to decorate their dorms. And this housing aspect of Pirate101 here that's largely neglected, through the badge system, you could encourage people to re-explore their bunkhouse, which many people might not go into decorating. You could have badges that reward you with a free ranked PvP game. Players who might not spend crowns for a season pass for ranked PvP, they've never tried it before, they don't want to spend crowns on it. Maybe after playing a ranked PvP match, you would get one for free with the badge. They might get into it. They might decide to spend those crowns to play for a season, or they might just buy some single games after that, but they would get to explore a different aspect of Pirate101. You could have a really cool looking piece of gear or a free stitch attached to a badge that would encourage people to care more about their pirate's appearance. I think a lot of people do end up stitching gear. This would appeal to people like me who have not spent the crowns to stitch their gear, who have a really cool build but don't care what they look like right now. And you might say, I'm just pointing out things that cost crowns. You have to usually use crowns to stitch gear or to do ranked PvP, but I think this would encourage people to make more purchases of that kind, and you would still lock them behind gameplay. Players would need to complete the badge requirement first, which would still require them to play some of the game and could possibly lead them to other aspects of Pirate101 they might not have explored before. And that would really incentivize people to try the different badges. So those are just a couple ideas I have for kind of revamping the badge system, making badges have fun requirements, have more badge rewards, and have badges lead to other aspects of the game. But those are just some random thoughts I have. I want to know, what do you think about badges in Pirate101? What badge do you usually have equipped on your pirate? I like this Master and Commander badge. I think it's a fun reference to a cool book and a really good movie about pirates, so I like it. What do you think, what are your ideas for improving badges in Pirate101? What rewards or what new badge requirements would you like to see? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for letting me rant and ramble about an aspect of Pirate101 that I would like to see worked on. Yes, even though I just spent a whole video talking about how bad the badge system is and how it's not worth it, I am still farming some of these badges, and yes, even though it's not worth it, I'm still doing it. I will probably make a video on it in the future when I can collect as many of these badges as I can. I do not look forward to having to do Moo Manchu a bazillion more times. I don't think my family is going to love that I will be locked away for hours at a time trying to complete this godforsaken tower, but the grind must go on. So please let me know what you think of badges down in the comments below. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.